harmony beyond surrender, before the last wisps of hesitation tied to marvels can fade. One truth must shine unmistakably clear. The guide's final agony didn't forge the great alignment, his return to life did. Many earnest seekers stumble, here tangled in old threads. No one unshackled from the illusion of lack could trip over this knot. Viewed through a warped mirror, that ordeal might seem like the divine allowed or even willed one of its own to bear pain for being pure. This twisted tale, born of casting shadows outward, has left countless souls wary of the divine's embrace. Such notions seep into sacred stories across time. Yet a true seeker pauses and wonders, could this be right? Would the divine, whose own voice calls such thoughts beneath its kin, weave them into being? The strongest shield isn't to strike at another's stance, but to cradle what's real. Clinging to an idea that demands you flip the world's compass. Upside down to defend it is a shaky path, unsettling in small steps, shattering when stretched wide. Chasing that frayed thread often births a hunt to prove the divine hounded its own kin for some grand rescue. Those words unravel into nonsense. Undoing this snag has proven stubborn not because it's tougher to mend than others, but because many clutch it tight as a bulwark. Even in softer echoes, a caretaker might sigh, "This cuts me deeper than you," and feel absolved while wounding another. Can you picture the divine nursing such a thought? We must sweep every speck of this haze from your vision. I wasn't broken to atone for your stumbles. The great alignment's gentle lesson, pure and bright dims, if smeared with even a hint of that distortion. That old echo, "Retribution is mine," declares the source, twists awry when we pin our own jagged yesterdays on the divine. Those shadows aren't its craft or care. The divine doesn't tally debts. Its essence doesn't bend that way. It holds no grudges against your missteps. Could it hold them against me? See how absurd that notion is, how it blooms wholly from casting your own echoes outward. This root feeds a tangle of mistakes like the tale of the divines burning its first kin, banishing them from a boundless grove. It's why you sometimes doubt my guidance. I've woven my words to resist bending, but a willful twist can still knot any signpost. The idea of surrender is alien to the divine. It sprouts only from trembling hearts, and those who quake can lash out fiercely. Forcing loss in any form defies my call to reflect the divine's boundless kindness. Many have struggled to see this reaches them too. Wise mentors don't loom over their learners with dread. To instill fear is to push away, and that shove drowns out the gift offered. The harvest, a withering of insight, I've been named the flame of the divine, lifting the world's burdens, but those who paint that flame bloodied miss its glow. It's a simple beacon of my untarnished light. Picture a stag and a fawn resting side by side, might and gentleness entwined, thriving in quiet unity. Those with clear hearts will glimpse the divine, sings the same tune. A mind unclouded knows what's real, that's its power. It doesn't mistake ruin for purity, for it binds purity to strength, not frailty. Purity can't carve away at anything. It holds the whole and guards its fullness. It doesn't cast shadows outward. It lifts up other minds with reverence, the natural salute of the cherished to their kin. The flame lifts the world's burdens by bathing it in a state of grace where the great alignment's clarity blazes. That alignment stands unwavering, radiant in its truth. Only efforts to cloak it in gloom make it elusive to those who turn from the light. The great alignment pours out nothing but reality. It embodies gentleness, scattering only gifts. It couldn't shine so if it rose from anything less than flawless. Purity, that purity is understanding. It sees no flaw, for flaws aren't real, yet it grasps all that is. The return to life proved no shadow can snuff out truth. Light endures every storm as dawn dissolves dusk. The great alignment is the ultimate teaching, the capstone proving every lesson I shared holds firm. Embrace this now, and the smaller teachings fade. You're free from all missteps if you trust it. The divine's purity is the kin's true pulse. In that rhythm, your mind meets the divine not as a riddle, but as a cornerstone. Knowing the kin as they are, you see the great alignment, not surrender, as the only offering fit for the divine's hearth, where nothing less than wholeness belongs. A pure heart's vision is truth itself. That's why their hearths gleam, marvels. As clear sight, Eve said, the cornerstones of this path don't bend or stretch. Some truths can't be grasped through clashing pairs. Dawn and dusk, fullness and void, they're either wholly real or wholly not. You'll waver until you plant your feet firmly on one side. No one can fully root in gloom or emptiness. Every soul has tasted some spark, some substance. So no one can wholly turn from reality, even if they try. Purity isn't a half measure, it's alive only when complete. A flickering purity can stumble into folly. It ripens into wisdom when it sweeps. Wide, embracing all. Clear sight means you never misread the world. You see what's there, never what isn't. When you doubt another's path, you're hinting they've strayed from clarity. That's no marvel-minded lens. Worse, it dims the marvel's reach. A marvel sees everything plain. If only truth stands, clear sight catches nothing less than perfection. I've said only what the divine crafts, or what you craft in its echo truly is. That's all a pure gaze finds. It's unscarred by warped mirrors. You tremble at the divine's will because you've turned the mind it shaped, mirroring its own to weave astray. A mind believing itself caged isn't free. It's hemmed in by its own chains that binds its will, halting its flow. Unity means one heartbeat, one intent. When the kin's will aligns with the divine's, their seamless chime is the eternal. Haven.no force can topple a kin who rests their spirit in the divine's care. That act stirs the mind from its slumber, recalling its source. All rifts vanish. The kin is woven into the sacred triad, yet the triad is one its layers hum without. Discord bound by a single purpose. That harmony births the divine's peace. Only the pure can see it. With untainted hearts, they shield clear sight, not themselves from it. Grasping the great alignment's lesson, they shed the urge to strike, and so they see true. The old words whisper it. When he dawns in sight, we'll mirror him, seeing him as he is. To mend distortions, pull your trust from them and pour it into what holds firm. You can't forge fiction into fact. Welcome the real in all you see, and it becomes yours. Truth sweeps aside every slip. Those lost in error or lack find no steady rest. See clearly, and you dissolve missteps in yourself and others at once. Seeing them as they are, you lend them your trust in their truth, so they can claim it. That's the mending a marvel brings. Sight versus knowing, we've lingered on sight, barely brushing what lies beyond. Sight needs straightening before knowing can bloom. To know is to stand sure. Doubt means you're still guessing. Knowing is might because it's steady. Certainty is its spine. Sight shifts, it's tied to the weave of time and space, swaying. Between dread and care, missteps spawn unease. True sight plants affection, neither lacks uncertainty, for sight flickers. That's why it's not knowing. Clear sight paves the way, but knowing affirms truth past all seeing. Your struggles root in not recognizing yourself, your kin, or the divine. To recognize is to re-know, hinting you once knew. Sight bends through many lenses, interpretation splits it, keeping it patchwork. A marvel as a way of seeing isn't knowing. It's the right reply to a wondering, but knowing asks no questions. Doubting illusions is the first unraveling a marvel answers, mending them. Since sight shifts, it leans on time. Your gaze now shapes your steps, and steps need time. Knowing sits outside its certainty, doesn't waver. You know when questions fall silent, a wondering mind clocks itself in time, hunting tomorrow's answers. A shut mind bets the future mirrors today, a steady perch, often hiding dread that what's next might worsen. That fear quiets the urge to ask. True vision flows from spirit's gaze, yet it's still a fix, not a fixture. That gaze paints symbols, not a tool for knowing, but a bridge to clear sight, ripe for marvels. A glimpse of the divine is a marvel, not a unveiling sights. Role keeps it from knowing's realm. That's why even the holiest visions fade. The old call to know yourself means stand certain certainty is the divine's gift. Loving someone, you see them plain, opening the door to know them. Until you do, they're a mystery. Questioning them shouts, you don't know the divine. Certainty needs no deed. Acting from knowing muddles it with sight. Knowing fuels crafting thoughts, not doing right. Sight marvels and steps dance together. Knowing, born of unveiling, stirs only thought. Even its loftiest form ties sight to flesh. Knowing rises from the inner hearth, timeless, sure. Seeing truth isn't knowing it. Clear sight must dawn before the divine can whisper straight to the hearths it set and its kin. There, its certainty flows, bringing peace without a ripple. The divine isn't a stranger to its kin, nor they to each other. Knowing came before sight in time, it'll outlast them. That's the pulse of first and last, and before the dawn I am. Sight steadies, knowing stands firm. Tremble at the divine and heed its ways, becomes know the divine and trust its sureness. Striking at another's error wounds you, you can't know them through a blow. A strike turns them foreign. Misreading them builds that wall, sparking fear. See them right, and knowing follows. No strangers drift in the divine's weave. You craft as it did only what you know and claim as yours. The divine knows its kin with flawless clarity, crafting them through knowing. When they miss each other, they miss the divine.